Hello and welcome to today's lecture. Now today we are going to look at the problems based on reactive intermediates in organic transformations. I have got some 10 questions. Then I am going to, after this I am going to put some examples from rearrangements for practice so that you can solve them at home. So the first question is, identify the stable intermediate from the following pairs. So there are 10 pairs. The questions can be framed like this only, based upon the stability and reactivity of the intermediates. So first one is benzyl cation and the cyclohexyl methyl cation. Now the stability, as far as stability of the carbonium ion is concerned, there are three factors which can influence the stability. First is resonance, second is inductive, third one is hyperconjugation. So resonance comes first. So your benzyl cation enjoys the stabilization by the virtue of resonance effect, and so on. You can write down some more resonating structures for this. And so on. So that is, this is resonance stabilized, this is lacking resonance. So naturally this is going to be the stable most or stable amongst that pair. So benzyl cation, you can even draw it like tropylium ion. This eventually becomes tropylium ion. Is quite stable than your aliphatic partner. Now let me clear this because the title is going to be uniform for all the things. Now second pair is the secondary carbonium ion. One is having OH, the other one is not having OH. That is the only difference. The resonance stabilization is there, that is identical. Now apart from resonance stabilization, this compound enjoys the extra stabilization from oxygen lone pair. So this positive charge can be stabilized through the non-bonding electron pair of oxygen. So this is additional stabilization, otherwise these two are same. So OH is making lot of difference. OH is taking care of the positive charge. So this is additional stabilization besides these pi electrons of the ring. So we can draw the resonance structures for this also, like there are two pi bonds. So in absence of oxygen you can have this stabilization. So and you can do one more, so that the resonance stabilization is very much there, but beside that this is additional stabilization. So your first compound or first carbonium ion is going to be more stable than the second one, because second one is lacking this extra stabilization by the virtue of hydroxyl group. Moving on to the third example, we are talking about solulysis of these two. So solulysis will eventually give you the corresponding carbonium ions. So I am going to put the carbonium ions here. And for this it will be benzylic and tertiary benzylic and secondary. So naturally this is going to be more stable because tertiary carbonium ions are more stable than secondary, which are more stable than primary, and the list is going to be CH3 plus. So naturally this is going to be stable because it is enjoying resonance stabilization as well as inductive plus I effect plus hyperconjugation. And if you look at the inductive and hyperconjugative structures, this is going to have lesser structures than the first one. So first one is more stable, or which can give rise to more stable carbonium ions, one can say. Now tropylium ion and tropylium anion. Now here this is obeying Huckel's rule of aromaticity. Second one is having 8 pi electrons, so N is going to be 6 by 4, that is 3 by 2, a fraction. So N has to be integer according to Huckel's rule of aromaticity. Cyclic conjugated charge species are aromatic when they satisfy this condition. So N has to be integer including 0. So the first one is aromatic, the second one is not. So naturally the carbonium ion or carbanion for that matter, which is having aromatic stabilization in terms of Huckel's rule, is more stable. Now here this dianion 4n plus 2 is equal to 10, n is equal to 2, 4n plus 2 is equal to 8, the same thing from n is equal to 3 by 2. So 2 will go there, so it becomes 6, 6 by 4 is 3 by 2. So this is aromatic, this is not aromatic. So naturally this dianion is going to enjoy the stabilization, and that is aromatic, this is not aromatic or anti-aromatic. So this is stable, the second is not. Now going to the sixth pair. Now here you can see that both are carbanions. One is on sp2 carbon, the other one is at sp carbon. So when we have seen the state of hybridization also matters, because the percentage S character gives additional stabilization to carbanion. Now here sp hybridization means percentage S character is 50, here it is 33.3. So naturally this is more stable than the earlier one. So second is more stable. Then this seventh one, benzyl anion and the cyclohexyl methyl anion. Now here you can write down the resonating structures by delocalizing this electron pair in the aromatic ring. So resonance stabilization is there in the first example, it is lacking in the second one. So this anion can enjoy the resonance stabilization. So you can stabilize the negative charge by dispersing it in the ring, and you can draw some more structures just by putting these kind of arrows and so on. Okay. So this is resonance stabilization which is lacking in the second compound. In fact, second is having a problem because this ring will exert plus I effect, and as we know that plus I effect is going to destabilize the carbanion, minus I effect is going to stabilize the carbanion. So resonance will definitely have the upper hand in this case, So, the first one is going to be the stable carbanion, then the second one is having a problem with plus I effect of the alicyclic ring, which is in fact destabilizing the carbanion. Now, here these problems are based on radical. These iodides are subjected to homolysis. So, naturally when the first compound will undergo homolysis, I am putting the, because we are talking about like H is already there. When this bond undergoes hydrolysis, this is the secondary and benzylic radical. Naturally, it enjoys the stabilization by the virtue of, so you can delocalize it here, even you can delocalize it in the ring. So, resonance stabilization is there. For the first one. For second, homolysis will give two radicals, this radical and iodine radical. These two radicals will combine. Now, as far as this stability is concerned, you can draw the resonating structure with nitrile group, but the additional stabilization which is present due to benzene ring in the first case is missing in the second. So, naturally the extent of conjugation is less, stabilization is less. So, the first one has got greater rate. Now, this is the relative rate of homolysis. The first compound undergoes homolysis 60 times more than the latter compound. So, naturally the first will undergo homolysis quite rapidly than the second one. The ninth example now, the same thing, you can have two radicals, iodine radical, anyway that we are not considering, because we are interested in the radical which is generated from the homolysis of carbon iodine bond. In both the cases, in first case you get this radical, in second case you get this radical. Now, this is secondary, this is tertiary. So, on that ground also tertiary is going to be more stable, and tertiary is also enjoying the resonance stabilization from both the sides. This has got only one carbonyl group of ester to give the stability. So, here tertiary and the extent of stabilization is more than this one. This is secondary and has got only one ester group in which the radical can resonate or it can enjoy the stabilization. So, the first one is having 40 times rate more than the second one. Now, coming to this, here also you can show the homolysis, and accordingly you will get two radicals, this is one, and in another case you will have, so this is secondary, this is tertiary. The other difference is minor here, but both are having only one ester group, but this is secondary, this is tertiary. So, tertiary will have upper hand. So, that is 1:4 times. So, that second compound is undergoing homolysis 4 times faster. Okay. Now, the examples. Okay. I'll just give these examples so that you can solve them at home. To solve for your practice purpose. YB minus this is 1. These are very useful examples because in exam, once you solve these kind of examples, all your concepts will be more clear, and for solving these kind of examples you need to know the basics. So your basics will be tested here. So this one is very interesting example. There are 2 steps in this example. So these 9 examples you can practice, and if you are having any queries you can post me. I will just quickly tell you the tricks which are required here. So in the first, your carbonyl group is the labile group, so this should attack at carbonyl, opens up this, then that O minus should come here, this should go back to the ester and the OCH3 goes up, that thereby you get this. This is your classical semi-pinnacle type thing. Protonation of this, because this is tertiary alcohol, then this is secondary. So, tertiary protonation and then the loss of proton, and then you get those two compounds. This is oxycope rearrangement. So, you have to show the arrows, and then it will be a 10-membered ring with one carbonyl group. That is your Favorsky rearrangement, where NaOH is catalyzing the reaction. You are going through that cyclic intermediate, that is cyclopropanone type intermediate, and then you get eventually COOH group, because you are working with hydroxyl ion. This is little different, because if you consider this as Favorsky, then this is not going to help. So, you have to practice. Maybe instead of 3-membered, you can put higher membered ring and do it. Now, here nucleophilic addition across carbonyl, and then second is the cyclization through the ethoxide ion. This is your classical epoxidation reaction, and second step is epoxide opening, which always gives trans vicinal glycol or diol as a product. Then this is Diels-Alder reaction, this diene-dienophile reaction, and you are expecting to get the adduct. This is your Baeyer-Villiger rearrangement, and the methyl group against this Narbonyl ring. So, this group has got greater migrating aptitude, so oxygen insertion should take place from here. You can try. If some queries are there, you can post, we will solve them. Now, immediately after this, I am going to put the question paper for section 2, and that will be more useful for you guys for university exam, because I want you to have couple of model question papers before you actually face the final exam. So, your scores would be greater, and you will be having some practice, and all those question papers I will be putting on Google Classroom, so that you can solve them and ask the queries. You can post the queries also on my mail or on the Google Classroom itself. I will answer them there also. Okay. Thank you.